Yad ish gedol shidane, she Dominique Tsosiesmith inishye, adonet nishlini tuotson inishle, glazislan vashishin, tanjikine dashiche, adot horich ini deshnele, akot ego sananishle, nele halkai hoane de nasha. Hello, I am Dominique Tsosiesmith. My clans are Big Water, Many Goats, Cliff Dwellers, and Bitter Water. I'm a Marine Corps veteran and I'm from Burnside, Arizona, just west of Ganado. I have a big, beautiful family in which my life revolves around. The center of my family is my grandmother, and she taught us how to love and care for one another, and not just within our own family, but everybody around us. And I believe that's why I was so drawn to Native SOAR. Native SOAR's description didn't do it justice. It wasn't just a boring prerequisite that could check our box. On our first community engagement, we visited the walk on the Santa Vera Reservation. We were taught the land and the trees' importance to the community and how active each community member was in the preservance of this part of their culture. An important part of our assignments were reading sections of articles and books published by Indigenous educators involved with higher education of Native individuals. Dr. Amanda Tuccini was one of the authors that I resonated the most with. We were grateful enough to have her as one of our guest speakers and hear some knowledge she shared with us.
Possibilities. There's so many great possibilities. Which one fills my energy up? Which one depletes my energy really fast? And which one helps sustain me to keep going?
She reminded us that we didn't have to do everything at once, or even all on our own, but rather choose opportunities that filled our hearts. Her section on Indigenous weapons, Diné scholar Lloyd Lee further explained that K'et does not emphasize independence, self-reliance, and separateness. Rather, people connect themselves to all entities in this world. This relation creates a bond in which the individual understands that they are not alone and have family and places. Fulfillment comes from the social and effective acts and bonds, which helps the person unite and harmonize with the social universe. So basically, it was pretty natural for us to want to give back. Mentoring online was a little difficult, to say the least. Middle schoolers had so much enthusiasm whenever we presented. High schoolers were definitely harder to engage with, but we didn't give up. We continued to play the games, play icebreakers, and in the end, we showed how much we really cared for each student and how much. Despite all the difficulties, they assured us with their laughter, happiness, and gratitude. I then felt more sure of our mentoring efforts. Being the example and leading before them, indigenizing the world ahead of them so that their success is more attainable. In Home Away from Home, Native American Students' Sense of Belonging, Vincent Tito argued that for students to persist, they need to be socially and academically integrated into the campus environment. And seeing us as Indigenous students in a U of A setting would make that goal more visible to them. Just as undergraduate students, we had set up our youth with such an advantageous tool. That knowledge then passes on in our adaptation to the colonized world. While keeping our identity strong, we show resilience in our presence. We are all connected, especially in our community, no matter the relation or distance from one another. Thinking of the Sense of Power section by Nelson and Youngbull, the rationale behind this view is that learning always takes place in both directions. Just as much as the community influences the individual also influences the community by his or her actions. Coming to this realization served motivational and empowerment for the mentors to see their place in the academy as catalysts for making change within the community. Whether we're undergraduate students or you have your PhD, we will continue to improve as mentors. From student to instructor and mentor to mentee, lives have been changed and impacted. I now have a sense of relief and realization that our goals are much more attainable when we connect. I am thankful to Native SOAR. The community I found here is one I will always take with me. I'm excited to see where it reaches next.
That she don't know, to me.